What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 46th episode of the Vision Game Podcast. I'm your host, Brad's Gaming, and as always, I'm joined by Clownishjoe
Yes.
and Triple Bravo.
Howdy, folks.
Threw me off with just
I
saying yes.
I wanted to mix it up. I say the
Yes.
same thing for 45 episodes now.
Yeah, it's been too long in between, and now you're like, I don't even know what to say. So
No,
yes,
I know what I say.
You said howdy, folks, a few times.
I did
We
because
switched it up.
I wanted to be Bravo for a day.
Mm-hmm. It felt good.
All right.
Not
So
for me. Not on my end.
So going on to our topic, so we decided with games coming out like The Last of Us Part 1 and Dead Space on the horizon, we wanted to dream a little bit and talk about some games that we would love to see remastered. And before we actually jump into our list, did we want to discuss any of these games that we already know that are announced?
Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sign me up.
just mention them. Like these games are what kind of sparked our want to do this episode. So Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, it's going to be a big one for me.
Resident Evil 4.
Yep. Max Payne was the one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Dead
there was
Space
that
is
one.
another
There was that one. Resident Evil 4.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Max
Resident Evil
Payne.
4 is going to be a big one, though.
Max Payne is up there for me. Like, same amount of hype as RE4.
I'm actually
nothing about it.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to play Dead Space. So
That's me too.
We've got a little like the pie graphs. Like your horror, likes barely overlap with my like of Dead Space. So we can all have an exciting week to talk about that.
Tells himself when he's playing, he's like, "This isn't horror. It's just sci-fi. It's just sci-fi, not horror. I don't
look at this saw."
Yeah, I would say so. I know The Last of Us Part 1. That's actually, I think, the next game that's coming out. That's gonna be like a remaster or whatever, remaster.
Yeah, it's like soon too, isn't it?
Yeah, like
soon.
September or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty quick. So, that one's coming up. I probably gonna wait for that one to drop in price just because it's literally, I think it's coming out the day before the baby's due. So, I might as well just wait.
It's so weird to me. Like, I feel like The Last of Us just came out, but it released in what, like 2012, 2013?
Yeah,
it's
it was
been almost
right around
10 years.
It was a PS3 game.
Yeah.
Originally. So I think the reason why, the game's getting a lot of crap because people are like, it's not a $70 game, and I think people are forgetting it was a PS3 game, and the PS4 version was like kind of just something so people could play on a PS4.
Yeah, even though they called it a remaster.
Yeah.
But it did release in 2013, so it's been it's 9 years.
Yeah.
So
I would say it was due for one. Like I've seen only a very little bit of it, and it was just like a facial animation of Tess, and I was blown away how realistic she looked.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of like different characters, and they went with like a more Last of Us 2 style Ellie instead of like the more childish, cartoony looking Ellie, I guess. But it looks really good for sure, and I mean it's gonna be a PS5 exclusive, obviously, so they're gonna make it like a staple game. But I don't know. I feel like even though it's 9 years, I still feel like it's too soon, and I think that comes down to the fact that the game still feels so fresh, even though I've only played through it once, because it was just super impactful, like as a game, that I could basically remember every part of the game.
Wow. I'll agree with that. It does feel like it's too soon, and I think it's just because there is a version you can literally play on PS5 right now.
Yeah.
Like so a comparison that people were making is if they did the same thing with Bloodborne for $70.
But the thing is, if Bloodborne re-released for $70 and they released it on PC, people would lose their minds and be 100% for it.
Is this one going to be on PC as well?
Probably in a year.
At some point, right? Yeah. So I mean, just the same thing, right? Like if Bloodborne was released, it was a PS4 game. It was, it's on PS4. because that's the same with The Last of Us, right? They
Yeah,
both are
Bloodborne
PS4
released
games.
2 years after, but
Yeah. So people were kind of saying that, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I'd buy a Bloodborne one." And it's like, well, then you probably can't say much about The Last of Us. So
yeah, it's. I mean, the original Dark Souls released in 2011, and we've got a remake of it last year, so at least
yeah,
10 years. So we're not far off from that. Like, I just, to be honest, I wouldn't have asked for a remake of this game. Like,
Yeah.
if
no,
we made
I
a list, and Last of Us is one of my top 5 games of all time, hands down, I wouldn't have asked for a remake.
it doesn't need one right now. That's
Yeah,
the big thing. It plays perfectly fine. It still looks
it
great,
holds up.
perfectly fine. But I'm not gonna complain about them making it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna buy it right away.
Yeah, that's me too.
I'm gonna wait and look at reviews, and I think it honestly comes down to how reviews go, how much they say has changed. Because I'm obviously not worried about spoilers, so I'll be able
It's
to read into it.
it's literally gonna be to me just once that price point hits it somewhere where I'm like, all right, yeah, I can buy it for that.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. They'll put it on like that PlayStation Premium, whatever they
oh
call it
yeah.
now. Maybe
I
we'll.
might that Stray game I think is going on there.
That straight game is going on there day
And
one.
I'm thinking about playing that. So
I am 100% playing that.
all right, we're getting off topic here. So, anyways,
Yeah.
anything else?
Speaking of games that we are being remastered, in place of Last of Us Part 1, what would you remaster instead?
No, Resident Evil 4. You're not gonna troll us like that and take us straight on a topic, bro. There's no organization here. You know this.
Yeah, true. We're not known for our organization, definitely.
Yeah.
So we decided to sit down and make a list for ourselves of games. So there might be some overlap. We don't know.
We like
Um,
lists.
yeah, we're love lists. Favorite
Big
thing.
list guy.
It just
So
guarantees that we've thought of the topic.
it's more of so we know that one of us didn't write bravo nine games down, and then Joe and I were like, I thought we were just picking one game. That's happened a few times.
Yeah, I
So
didn't make a list. Gonna be honest.
Yeah,
that's
that's
For
fine.
this one either. But I'm
I'll
still a
put
big
no.
list guy.
There's a list out there.
Yeah, there's a list somewhere that has these games on it that I'm gonna pull out of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So jumping into it. Bravo then. How about you give us your first game?
Yeah, open
That-
us off with a list. Like an
Yeah.
actual list.
The first game that I would remaster is the Jack and Daxter series. Just and if I had to pick just one, I would pick Jack 2. Because that, in my mind, is like the best one where you're in the city and everything's all cool and whatnot. It needs it. I want Jack and Daxter to look like
The new Ratchet and Clank.
Breath of the Wild, or Ratchet and Clank, yeah, like where all the magic just like pops and all the gunfire and the city, where you've got like the layered driving and stuff. It'd be pretty cool.
Bravo, how would you feel if I told you that I've been prepping and I've downloaded all of the Jack and Daxter games onto the PS5 to play through just for you?
I'd say that's terrible because I don't have a PS5.
No, like I'm playing through them just to experience them because you've talked through them so much.
Yeah, man, they're good. They're good adventure.
I'm holding you to it.
platformer.
Whenever I get 20 minutes in and turn it off, like Lego Harry Potter, I'm gonna be at your throat.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much,
Yep.
but the first one is like the weakest. Like
The first one is more traditional of what you'd imagine from what I know.
yeah, it's like Crash Bandicoot, but you're a hippie elf. Like
Yeah, there you
just a
Oh,
little
that
bit,
seems like it's gonna be the peak of my interest.
a little bit more open. I don't know, because I remember going through the first Jack game and it really taken a while because I was manually trying to figure out how to get all the eggs to like 100% the game. But if you're just running through for just to like enjoy the game, I don't know how long it would take.
Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I find. I'm not going to go out of my way for side content because I know it's a series and I just want to get through it. And if I do that, I'll burn out before I even make it to the second one.
Right. And
so I'm definitely going to just focus mainline.
Yeah. So that there's that one. Brad, what you got? What else?
All right. So I had a couple of them that I was like, what do I want to run with that first? But I'm gonna do one that technically kind of got
Oh boy, technicalities.
It technically got a little bit of
We
a
always
remake
break
remaster,
rules immediately.
but it didn't. It didn't. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Pokemon Red and Blue or Gold and Silver is what I want to see remade on the Switch. Like
in the 3D view.
I don't care what the hell they do. Just
like
don't
that Link's Awakening art style.
Just don't do what you did with don't do Let's Go Pikachu.
All right.
That
Don't
is
do that. Big bad.
That's literally the worst thing they could have done, and they did it, and they ruined it. So they're not going to touch Gen 1 again for another 10 years plus with freaking a Pokemon Go style game. Like, yeah, the ideal one would be something like Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
and
that art style is awesome.
If they did something
easily
like that,
transfer to Pokemon,
it would have been perfect. But I don't really care either what games they did. If they did Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, whatever. If you want to include Yellow or Crystal, whatever you want to do. But having those games on the Switch, because right now, unless you have the 3DS, the digital games, there isn't really a good way to play Red and Blue, except for like playing on Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fire Red, Leaf Green is a GBA game. Like that was
the remake. Way to play right here.
But the game is freaking expensive,
But I already have them, so it's not expensive.
That's you. I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's a you problem.
Anyways,
I actually just found my original copy of Heart Gold like within the last week.
Yeah, I have that one. But I just
or not Heart Gold. Like
I think it would have been good.
Is Heart Gold like the redo version of it?
Yep.
Yeah, I have the original
Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah, I have original gold. The big cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sexy carts.
So, anyways, that there really isn't much to say about it. It's just I'd like to see old Pokemon done newer.
I honestly like all of the 2D Pokemon and Zelda games. I'd love to see done in that Link's Awakening art style.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's pretty easy that they could just reuse the assets between both games for like trees and tall grass and just slap so, and
for sure
I'd be easily sold on it.
I think they could bring all the games kind of up to par, like give them a little bit of a remaster, put them on their online subscription store thing, and like make it to where you can like quote unquote trade, with other people.
I think it's coming. I mean, there's been rumors for a while that Game Boy is coming to the Switch Online. So
I'll be honest too. If that, I didn't even think about that. That's even as simple as what they need to do. But they need to do not just Game Boy. They need to do like the Fire Red, Leaf Green, because that's only been available on Game Boy Advance.
What they need to do is just ensure that like they keep that tradition alive where you could take a Pokemon. Like if I wanted to, I would play through every single game in order. Well, not every game, but like one of the pairs in order, all the way up, and like transfer my Pokemon to the newer game, and just like have.
Then you get to like game 3 and you're running around with a level 99 Charizard as soon as you start fighting level 2 Pidgeots.
Well, I thought you had to get like halfway through the game or whatever to get to the transfer.
No, you could trade literally Gym 1.
Well, you Nintendo should be happy that I am playing through all your games again. So,
See, so you're not gonna have fun if you just one-shot everything.
Yeah, Bravo's different. Bravo has
you don't have to one-shot everything. You don't have to one-shot everything. You keep Charizard on the back line, and you're like, kids, go play. And if they all get knocked out, Charizard shows up and he's like, all right, well, I'm at a disadvantage here,
It's
but you
your
lose.
funeral.
Yeah.
No,
All right,
I get
Joe.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
You wanna roll us into the next one?
I guess if you guys are gonna yank my arm, but quick side note that made me think of I delivered to a like big beer distributor here the other day and got a free case of beer right off the line.
Nice.
Like watched the last can get sealed, thrown in a box, they sealed it, and he's like, "You want a case of beer?" Yeah, yeah, I do. But the twist of my arm thing, somebody said that to me whenever I got it. So but yeah, so I'm gonna go in with a 2-for-1 right off the bat. Resident Evil, the original, even though it has been remade for the GameCube, I would like to see it in a third-person view, like the modern remasters of 2, 3, and now coming 4, because I think that game would be phenomenal. And I know there's some fan remakes that put it in that perspective, but I think it'd be really good. And I
Yeah.
hope they decide to do it. And on top of that, I would also like to see Code Veronica because I've never played through it. I plan to really soon because it's on the PlayStation thing. I can never remember the name of it because they keep changing it.
Yeah, I don't.
The PlayStation Premium Plus expansion 7x4.
I still just call it PlayStation Plus. I don't know.
Yeah, but whatever. It's the Code Veronica X or whatever is on that. So I'll play through that. But I think it's a game that not many people I know who are like fans of Resident Evil know like was supposed to be a mainline game. And I feel like I know nothing about it. Like actually nothing. And I
Join the
really want
club.
to see it. Yeah, like I couldn't tell you who the characters you play are. I couldn't tell you what the story is about. Absolutely nothing.
I know that much. I don't know the story, but I know the character you play as. That's
Yeah,
about it.
I've actively avoided learning because of the fact that I want to play it blind. Because when's the last time I got to play a normal Resident Evil game
True.
blind?
Yeah, that's definitely true. But I agree. Obviously, there's always like mods and whatnot, and people fan remakes.
Yeah.
But it's like you want
They've been
the
killing
official
it with
release.
their remakes. Like,
Yeah,
there's no reason I don't want that.
yeah. It definitely is something. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do that like sooner. Like after seeing 2 and 3 doing well, I'm kind of surprised that they jumped into 4 because I was thinking to myself, okay, they're probably gonna spend the most time on 4 because 4
It's
is
so
so
damn long.
yeah, and on top of it, 4 has such that like critical claim to it of
I think
like
that's the reason they are doing 4 now. Like, I think if we get Code Veronica, it was always going to be after 4 because 4 is going to pay for Code Veronica and more. Just
I'm even
because of the
thinking in
name.
Resident Evil 1 too, like
Yeah.
kind of surprised they haven't done that one yet.
Yeah, I mean, what the last remaster was in like what 2001 or something like that. It was
Yeah,
ridiculously
it's crazy. So yeah, that I agree.
2002.
Give me every single Resident Evil game they've ever made remastered, the way they've been doing it. Keep pumping them out, and you'll keep getting my money.
I'm actually really excited for when I get to 5 as well because I'd like to play through that with a little bit updated graphics, even though it's still held up really well. But
Like
some
it just
better
without the
AI.
tank controls.
I like the tank controls.
I don't like the Resident Evil 4 tank controls.
I do. Like that is Resident Evil to me. And I think it's
No.
because 4 was like the first one I played in that style.
It's good when you play it and your mind's like shifted in that, but when you go from like playing the old modern games like Resident Evil 2, right? You play
Yeah.
that one a bunch and everything, and then you try to go back, you're like, what the hell am I doing right now?
But Resident Evil 2 like kind of is tank controls. There's not tank in like the way you move. Like the movement's a little more fluid, but you can't move when you aim, can you?
You can, it's like very slow
Oh, okay.
from what I
Well,
remember. But
I don't
it's not
hate that as long as it's not Resident Evil 6 movement while shooting, because I don't need to
Yeah.
be flopping like a fish.
No. I want to do that.
Well, in Resident Evil 6, I actively want to do that because that's the only fun part of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
But no, what I mean is where you're like I don't know, where you press up to move, and then you like left and right
Yeah,
with
to turn.
yeah, that's what I don't. Threw me off, and like the aim, just the
Yeah,
whole
I get
thing
what you're
threw me
saying.
off. Yeah,
And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a purist, but I love it. Like I'm playing through Them and Us with the classic fixed camera tank controls, and I'm
yeah.
able to switch to whatever type of controls I want, like third person, first person, or just like non-tank fixed camera.
Mhm,
And I just want that pure feeling. And that game's awesome, by the way. Even though I found 3 saves within 3 hours of playing it.
mhm.
But I think I just passed them because they're little vinyl discs and they're really easy to run by. But moving on.
All right, yeah. Bravo, bring us the next one for you.
My next one is a bit of a strange one, but Lord of the Rings Online. So I haven't actually played this game. I feel like I've missed the window to play it, just like where I was at in life when this game was popular, and now it's just like abysmal to look at, and it's I don't know if it's taken offline, but it's it's really old.
It's definitely not. It's still popular on Steam.
Yeah, I just wish it would get remastered so I could go back and play it. And I was daydreaming about this game, and I was like, man, Amazon making this new Lord of the Rings show, they really kind of missed an opportunity to kind of double dip. And instead of making New World, they could have just been working on a Lord of the Rings MMO based in the same era that the TV show was in, and you got money, man. Like you don't have to release this new IP that
Hmm.
could pass or fail or like it did, and like it just seems like a win-win. And I hope somebody out there with a lot of money is like, wait a minute, that's a really good idea. Just
I feel
do it.
like that would be the one MMO I would actually get into because I don't have this massive world already well, it is already going, but I know the like lore already. So I'm not just sitting there trying to take everything in, spending
Right.
40 hours. Like I understand the characters, I understand the world, and I feel like that's the only way I'd get into an MMO.
Yeah. I imagine I would play a dwarf, and instead of being an MMO, I would treat it like a single player game where I just dive deeper and deeper into the mines and ignore
I'd
everybody
be an elf.
else.
Give me a bow.
And every once in a while, I'd shout out in my axe, and that's it. Just go, just go
You'd hear
full
me
crazy.
from across the country yelling in my bow. And Brad seems like a human type player, so
He's a Boromir for sure, 100%.
yep.
Oh yeah.
First one down.
Oh
You try to take the ring. Don't lie to me.
my god.
Brad actually understands our references now,
Oh god.
so it
Yeah,
becomes a little more impactful.
yeah.
I don't
You know,
know.
I really didn't like him. I didn't like him at all. I was like,
I
they try to like make him into, which maybe the books make it bigger or whatever, but like I understand the importance of him like dying and whatnot, but because
But
of how
it could have
early it
been
is where you
Sam,
see,
and everything would have went so much better.
no, it could have been Frodo, and it could have been so much better.
I just imagining like Sam dies, so Boromir goes with Frodo, and at some point Boromir's like, Frodo, get on my back, and it's just like he's
A
just like
montage of him
like
just running
like
up
running through
mountains.
things that like scenes that looked really hard for Frodo and Sam, but are just like tiny rocks for everybody else.
Yeah,
He's just like
exactly. Yeah,
doing parkour and stuff to get in.
All right, so we need to get the rights to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I called dibs on playing Frodo, and I want Brad to carry me on his back.
it's easy enough. Sam made it look easy.
Sam is a pig.
Sam is amazing.
I'll play Mary
Swine.
and Pippin.
I want to play with Pippin.
Well,
He's like the
all right,
best
good.
character of the show.
I'm gonna kill you then instantly. You're the
I don't
first
care.
person I snipe.
I'm gonna be
And
toking it up with old Treebeard.
you token it up and just dying of literally nothing. Just like some random little like
I don't know. I'm
pixie
responsible
dust.
for taking down the Tower of Sauron, but
I mean, if you want to say that, I don't know. It's more like he just was there.
And then I find the secret stash of all the goodies.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Anyways, we're getting off track again. Big surprise.
whoa.
So, all right, my next game is, I think, no surprise. They did so well remaking Diablo 2 that they needed to redo Diablo 1.
Oh, not the route I thought you were going.
Whoa.
Where did you think I was going?
I thought you
I
were
don't
going
know. I
to say
expected you to
D2.
go to another major series that we enjoyed.
Oh, we do enjoy Diablo 2.
Yeah, we do
So-
enjoy Diablo 2. Some of us more than others.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But I meant like a mutual, like me you type series is where I thought you were going.
Oh no, we'll see.
One of us will get there.
Yeah, we'll get there at some point. So here's the thing: Diablo 1 has like this little tiny. They want to call it like a remake in Diablo 3. So you can only play it in January, and it's called like the Darkening of Tristram, and it is terrible. Like they literally just used assets and were like, oh, this is kind of like this enemy.
Ew,
There's
really?
no loot drop. Like they'll give you like, oh, here's Griswold's Edge, for example. Right. So
Gross.
that's like a unique item that you can get from a quest in Diablo 1. They made it a magic item with the exact same stats as what it is in Diablo 1. But like the game's not balanced towards Diablo 1, it's balanced towards Diablo 3. So by the time you get there, you have like a 200 damaged weapon, and they give you like a 17 damage Griswold's Edge. It's like, cool. I guess you took the time. You took the time to edit some text on an item. Like, cool. I don't know. It was just such a half-hearted little thing that they decided to try to do. If they just actually made it like Diablo 2's remake, and then put some of the quality of life changes, like actually being able to run in town and whatnot, like it.
I would be more interested in a Diablo 1 remake than I was 2. Because
Diablo
I
1 is
like 1.
Yeah, Diablo 1 is an actual great game.
I want to
like
poop myself seeing the Butcher for the first time again.
that, yeah. I don't know if I've told this story. The first time I ever played Diablo 1,
He actually pooped himself. He does that a lot.
I do that a lot.
He do.
I installed the game, and I remember I was like actually terrified because when you install the disc on this, like on your PC, so it pops up in the old days where you'd have like the option to, like, where it's like install, and sometimes
All
they'd
that
even have
fun
like
stuff.
demos and all that stuff. Yeah. So after the install happened, it didn't just like start the game, it would also pop up, and instead of it like just being like click play, it would do this really evil like devil laugh that's super deep and scared the living crap out of me. So it took me a day and a half to get past that. Then
The real
then
grind, getting to the main menu.
yeah. Then once I get to the main game, I'm like, all right. So I finally get through, and I get to the butcher to click on that, and then I noped out of it instantly. And then I didn't. That was. I mean, I probably didn't play Diablo 1 until I don't think I got past that point playing Diablo 1 until I was like mid-20s. It took that
Damn.
long. I was like, I'm talking like I was probably 8 years old when I first tried it. Something like that. And it scared the crap out of me, and then I never tried it again.
Wow.
Fair but fair.
Anyways, so yeah, there's my Diablo 1 story. But yes, I would absolutely love that. Joe, bring us the next one.
All right. This is a major game that I know everybody here loved. And technically, we've had a remake under the same title, but I want the old school Star Wars Battlefront 2 remastered. And when I say remaster, I mean I want to be able to play the damn Galactic Conquest
Yes.
by myself
Yes.
without it having to be all multiplayer.
Yes.
And without EA being involved
Yes.
in any way, shape, or form. Because that game is phenomenal.
I think
and
you're
it
running for like
deserves-
president or something.
Yes, and Nike heard Star Wars Battlefront 2, and he's like, "I'm here, like,
Yes, dude.
I'm ready."
That is the first
remember.
game that me and my really close friend decided to like figure out exploits and glitches and stuff. So, we would get on the speeder bike and uh, on certain planets, and like if you hit a tree at a certain angle, it would launch you, and you'd like land at the top of the map, so you could like shoot down on people. And we learned how to do tricks, and like do all kinds of crazy stuff. It was a blast.
But remaster it,
But remaster it.
and not the fake remasters that we got.
Yeah, I would play the poop out of that game.
Sign me up.
Such good. That was a good one, Joe.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's one of
bro.
the ones where I didn't have an answer, so I just looked over at the game shelf, and it was a big yellow case, and I was like, "That's it."
Oh boy.
He's like, wait, I need one more. More
so,
chicken.
So my next one is a bit of a passion.
Like, stop it.
I think you guys will agree with this one. Twisted Metal.
I
Oh.
won't, because I don't think that game's very good.
Oh, you're wrong. I
The,
really like
That's
that
fair,
game.
but they're making a movie or something out of it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh
one.
yeah, they are. Yeah, TV show, movie, something like that.
Stop making
Yeah.
a mess.
Yeah, it's just a good game to play with your friends, and I think there's probably a game out there like I don't know, like Burnout or Rocket League or something that you could do like an add-on, like a little DLC, and like have the entire Twisted Metal game pretty much
Yeah.
theirs, and that would be acceptable. So I don't know, like I just feel like I need even more battle cars in my life.
They attempted to do a reboot on the PS3. And I guess it
No.
didn't go too well. Yeah, I don't know how
I think there's
bad it was.
I think there's like 3 total Twisted Metal games.
No,
There's
there's
4.
4 on PS1, and then there's a PS2 game and a the PS3 reboot.
Oh, I didn't know there's so many on the.
I only know that because I have all 4 of them right there.
Wow.
PS1, and then the PS2 one is somewhere.
They're not a game I played as a kid, so I literally just don't care about them.
I didn't either, but
Cool concept,
Kinda like
but I
what we
could
were
just
talking
play
about.
Mario Kart versus and get the same effect in my eyes.
it definitely felt rough to play when I went back to it. Like, no,
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's some nostalgia goggles.
Mm.
yeah. I'm sure I'm sure they could like actually remake a car battle
Yeah,
whatever game like pretty good nowadays. So I wouldn't say it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm gonna Joe, do I do the one that we're thinking of? I guess
are you doing 1 or 2?
I wasn't gonna discriminate against any of them, so I was literally gonna
Okay.
say Silent Hill 1, 2, or 3.
The
I don't
entire
care what
Silent
game they
Hill.
do. I honestly don't care what they do, but they need to do something.
Agreed.
And
I would love to see it in that Resident Evil style.
yeah,
I wouldn't
honestly
be
needs to
opposed
be.
to fixed camera.
It needs to be. I honestly think it needs to be number 1 first. But
I do too.
if
But
they
I see
if they
them
did
doing
2,
2 first.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. But yeah, I'd be fine with any of those 3. I think all 3 of them should have a remake.
There's obviously no reason to do 3 without doing 2 first.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
1. Wait, 1 first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like it's a honest like request, I guess, to armchair develop and say like games of a certain age, like there's no reason why they can't be packaged together, Like
Well, they technically did package some Silent
Like-
Hills together.
put them, remaster 1, 2, 3. Now you could argue that they'd never do that because they'd always have the potential to remaster the next ones and charge you the $70 per game.
Well,
Yeah.
But
this is what you're saying. I think there's no reason why they couldn't throw a collection together of 1 through 4 onto a disc for $70, whatever. For literally don't touch anything. Just make it to where it runs on the PS5.
And
And
actually
then
runs, not like the
yeah,
PS3 collection.
yeah, exactly. So it's insane to me that a franchise as like loved as Silent Hill doesn't have like like Konami doesn't treat it like it's as big of a franchise as it is.
But
You
at
know,
the
that's
same time, we are also looking at this with very rose-tinted goggles because Silent Hill is not that big of a franchise. Like
I know it's
realistically,
not.
That's also
it's
like a
pretty tiny.
that's
Yeah.
also like a Pandora's box, because I do agree that it's strange that they don't do it more often, where they just kind of like put an emulator on their newer machine and like, oh look, we're re-releasing
Okay.
all these old games, but then you just get like, I don't know, like microtransaction type stuff where it's just like, yeah, we're putting these on the PS5 now, and you have to rebuy them, but they do literally no work.
This is literally the argument about it though. Okay. Konami literally already has done this with other franchises. There's absolutely no reason why they couldn't do it with Silent Hill.
And they're
And
actively still doing it.
so Contra, okay, they literally just put all the
They
Contra
did.
games. Contra is significantly smaller than Silent Hill. Okay,
They put
like
Contra.
they did a Contra collection. They've done
Contra was pretty
numerous.
big back in the day.
I don't care how big you think Contra is. It's not as big as Silent Hill. Like Contra is not, for Konami, it's like Metal Gear, that probably Castlevania and Silent Hill. Probably like, and I don't even know what you would put between, for those two. I don't know if Castlevania or Silent Hill is ahead of each other, but that's kind of how they're doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. It's like, just throw a little collection together. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, just a little emulator thing that you could play it on a modern console, so people don't have to bust out a PS2 to play Silent Hill 2, like a decent version, and shell out like $100 for it.
Yeah.
So I feel like but that's besides the point. I want to actually see the Resident Evil 2 remake style, not just a
Yeah.
collection.
So for reference, Silent Hill, including all games, all versions of the games, has sold 8.5 million copies. And that was last done in like 2 years ago. They took that mark.
Hmm.
Contra, ending in 96, sold 4 million copies. Obviously, the game released in like 87. But they're not as big of a difference, realistically, looking at the times. Like selling 4 million copies in the 90s was pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. It's impressive, but what I mean is, like,
It definitely comes down to an age range.
put it this way,
Like,
I feel like there's more of a market for Silent Hill than Contra nowadays.
I disagree.
Contra has like no. The last few games that Contra's put out have been like 3 out of 10s.
I mean, you say the same about Silent Hill.
It's actually not.
There's no arguing that point.
Yeah, not wrong.
But like realistically, Contra in all effects is like a shooter at heart. Shooters just do better than horror games right now.
But here's the problem: they don't make like a FPS of Contra.
Yeah.
They always do the 2D side-scrolling arcade style.
And I'd even argue that is more popular than horror right now, like that indie look.
Really, I feel like it's not now.
Horror's pretty dead. Like Resident Evil is about all we got.
Yeah, but Resident Evil still cranks out some numbers, which is surprising. It's just there isn't a big franchise that's behind it. We're getting in the weeds. We don't need to talk. But
yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 2 remake sold 10 million units, which outsold Silent Hill in its entirety with a remake.
exactly. So, but put it this way, the hype that PT had, just a demo, makes me think like if they did something with Silent Hill nowadays, like it would probably sell 10 million copies. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know.
Why would Resident Evil 2 sell 10 million, but Silent Hill 1 wouldn't? Like a remake of
Resident
Silent Hill 1.
Evil is like an active series that like okay, so my father's generation obviously grew up with both Silent Hill and Resident Evil. What did my generation grow up with? We grew up with Resident Evil. Who are like the majority of gamers now? It's my age and
Yeah.
younger. Resident Evil is a name we've heard. Silent Hill is kind of a niche. Like if I didn't grow up knowing what Silent Hill was, I wouldn't give two francs about
My only
Silent
argument for that are the movies, but I don't know
But
how many people would know that
the
movies
weren't like they were a critical success, but they weren't like a box office major bust through.
This is,
Right.
I think this is the big thing, is one of the reasons why I would love them to also remake it is I feel like then we would actually know, because
Yeah, there's no way to
we're
know without it
looking
happening.
we're looking at through our goggles of we're fans of the series, and of course like we think like, oh, it's gonna be amazing, you know, whatever. But I don't know what the general public looks at it, like it's like the vocal minority of you see
Well,
people are
we
like,
got
oh my
our
god,
friendly neighborhood neither fan.
yeah.
For reference, Bravo, if what are you more familiar with? With before talking to us, was it Resident Evil or Silent Hill?
Oh, Resident Evil. Like they've got a whole like movie franchise, the games, you know, like come on.
Yeah, it's just naturally massive compared to Silent Hill, and it's
Yeah.
because Silent Hill died,
Yeah.
and Konami had
I
no interest in
I
trying to
will I
revive.
will
or
say that
Capcom did.
Resident Evil has what's the word? Like if you tell me a Resident Evil movie is about to come out, I automatically assume it's going to be like bad. Like almost on purpose bad.
Yeah.
And it's just
Well,
like
go
it
back
just
to our
had
pre-show
what is
and
that?
reference that.
Yeah, what is that
Netflix series.
word? What is that word where it's like it's
A
not like
parody,
not like a niche, not
a cult.
Like a cult classic type movie.
No, it might come to me. But anyways, it just like
I know what you're
has that.
saying.
Yeah, it has a stigma. It has that stigma where like it just you just kind of know it's probably gonna be garbage. But you know I at least I do. I go into the theater and I'm like, all right, it's gonna be garbage, and
Yep.
I enjoy my time. Like, oh wow, she can lift things with her mind now. That's pretty cool. Okay, kind of
Don't remember that
doesn't.
in Resident Evil, but all right.
Okay, yeah.
No, I agree. Anyways, we could literally do multiple podcasts
About
discussing.
those two series and
Yeah,
themselves.
so
And Bravo would sit here just
yep, smile and look pretty like always. Smile and look pretty. All right, Joe. Let's you got anything else, or did I steal your last one?
No, I have plenty more that I could just keep rattling if we want
All
to keep
right.
going. But I have one that's a little bit lesser known, I think, but I think it was still a pretty popular game at the time.
Mm.
That I'd love to see back, and it'd be Dead to Rights.
Mm.
I had it for the original Xbox, and I remember like bits and pieces of the game of like certain missions, or I don't even remember how the game worked in its entirety. But I just remember like there was a dog mechanic in the game, and I really liked that feature of it. And I just feel like the game would probably do pretty good in today's market based on like the style of obviously being an action shooter.
Yeah, fun
And-
fact: Brad's clean shaven Brad was used as the cover man for the
Yes,
game's cover.
he does. But
What?
the game was awesome, and I know they made a second one, but I actually think that the game did they make a third one? Jesus Christ! But the game
Yeah.
was actually awesome, and I
There was
feel
a
like it'd
third
be-
one on PS3.
Yeah,
Dead to Rights Retribution, Dead to Rights 2, and the OG Dead to Rights.
yeah. I'm talking the OG. I never played any of the other ones,
I've never
but
heard of this game.
the game was awesome.
Essentially, like Max Payne.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Just a little less dark. Max Payne was known for being very dark.
Hmm.
But Dead to Rights was awesome. And I love the dog. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get a lesser known one because we kind of bounced around all the points that were like, oh yeah, obviously these guys would want to see that.
Yeah, the big ones are kind of easy, but all right, Bravo. You got another one or
I've got one
we
more.
Okay.
It is Resistance: Fall of Man. I think this game
That
deserves
game was so good.
to be remastered. I think there's a lot of people out there that would really appreciate this game in modern graphics.
Yes.
You know, you've got like the gnarly alien hive dudes. Like, oh man, could be
That
so
game-
good.
I bought a PS3 simply for that game.
Yeah, I went deep. Like I can't remember if it was number two. When the PlayStation motion control things came out.
PlayStation Move stuff.
Yeah, they had a box that came with the new game. I don't remember which Resistance game it was, but it came with the game and like a themed gun for Resistance, and me and my buddy bought it and we played it for like
It was Resistance 3.
yeah, we played Resistance 3 for like 5 or 10 minutes with the move controls, and we're like, this is garbage, and we just went back to playing it, normal. But it's a really, really good series. Honestly, like I believe the main character's name is Nathan. It's just a pretty darn good story,
The
Like
game was awesome. I completely forgot it existed.
Yeah, it's not even like it's not your standard hero story. Like it
It was
things
Call of
happen.
Duty meets Metro
Yeah.
meets Gears of War.
I'm not gonna keep beating the dead horse. It definitely deserves a
Keep being
remaster.
it. That game I forgot existed, and now I want to play it.
Yeah.
I played a tiny bit of the game. And I've actually always wanted to play it like through because I've heard nothing but massive praise. So I don't know. I wonder if it is on like the streaming for PS5.
Mhm.
It's not.
It's not.
I think Resistance 2 might be.
Well, if it was, I would definitely give it a shot on there. But all right, yeah. So I guess I have one more and kind of one that I'll mention quickly, maybe towards the end. If we got any like real quick little shout outs or something.
Yeah.
But my last game is actually going to be Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Yeah.
So Gauntlet Dark Legacy, I had it on both PS2 and Xbox, the original.
Mm-hmm.
And I originally played it on GameCube with my buddy. Actually, I don't even know why I call him my buddy because I literally haven't talked to the kid since we were like 13. But we played the crap out of this game, and it was so fun, and I still like playing it, honestly, to this day. It's very simple, arcadey style, but it's like a perfect kind of pick up and play just for a little bit game. Like I think we should get more of these style games, honestly.
Yeah.
Where it's just you're hanging out, you can, hop in, couch co-op, whatever for some people, do it online as well. Go in, kill some stuff, get out. There you go. Do a couple levels here and there and just slowly grind your way through it without like really any story that matters. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see a remastered Sorceress, if you know what I mean.
There's also the other the game before that. Gauntlets. Do you remember the one before Dark Legacy?
I thought it was just called Gauntlet.
No, there's
Gauntlet.
So there's Gauntlet 1, Gauntlet 2,
Gauntlet
and then
Legends.
Gauntlet Legends is the PS1. There's a PS1, N64, and Dreamcast. And even, honestly, even that one, because Gauntlet Legends and Dark Legacy both are very similar. Just, put out a little bit later.
I've bolstered about it before, but the Gauntlet, I can't remember what it's called. It's the one that I have on Steam.
Yeah, I know. I've actually played it and I've beaten it with my beat it with one of my friends at some point. It's
Yeah,
it's a
it's just
very
called
good game as
Gauntlet.
well.
Yeah, it's just called Gauntlet. But the wizard in that game, the way the mechanics work to like open up spell books and like do stuff, is the best like stance switching mechanic I've ever played. I absolutely love it. I've beat the game 100%, 100% beat the game with just the wizard by myself because I played the crap out of it. Love that game.
Mm. I wouldn't mind playing that one again too, honestly. Maybe we'll pop it in sometime.
Do you have it on Steam?
I do.
Hmm.
I think I got the game. It might have been like a free game on PlayStation or something like that at one point. Because that's where I beat it, but I have it on Steam. So yeah,
All right.
I would definitely play it again.
Yeah, I like to pop that in whenever I want to. I don't know, just kind of do what you're saying. Just kind of mindlessly go through some levels.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. So.
All right, Joe. Let's.
Yeah.
You got one more, or
I do have one more, but I also have like half a one that we forgot to mention in the beginning that is announced to be coming, and that's Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver.
wait?
Yep. They are announced that they are remastering it.
You know what's funny? I almost put that game on this list
Yeah.
because I was like, I like these games. They're pretty good. I did not know that.
I, not gonna lie, I completely forgot what
yeah.
like my next one was. So I've been sitting here looking backwards, like at my game shelves, and I'm like, I know I have it. Like, what game was it? And I couldn't remember. And then I
Yeah.
looked at that one. And I was like, oh yeah, they did announce they're remaking that one.
I never remember this game, and then I see the front cover, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
But I do have another one that I cannot remember for the life of me what I was gonna say, but I do have another as well, and that is Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh,
Which that game's turned 10 years old, and that game messed up my high school mind a little bit. But I feel like that game with some modern graphics could be like even more impactful nowadays.
I've tried to play through that game a few times, and I don't know what always like held me back, but I've heard the story is phenomenal. And
Yeah, it's not what you'd expect.
yeah.
Like I got the game because it was like, oh, I was in my pew pew days and I just wanted to pew pew things, and then the story hit me and I was like, what the hell just happened to me? Like, why am I feeling like it? This is a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean the feels.
Yeah, but
But
that game is awesome. Easily because of
so does I have one that's like a little quick thing. Just I'm just gonna mention real quick.
Yeah.
I know technically we kind of got something, but I honestly would love to see the original God of War 1 and 2. And even like 3 thrown all together in like a nice little package. Or honestly, even do like a ground up remake of God of War 1 and maybe do it in the style of God of War, like 2018. I don't know how that would be, but I know Joe's not the biggest fan of that stuff, but
I feel
Bravo
like it
and
would just
I
be
are
too different if it's not just a classic hack and slash. Like it's not a remake, or it's not a remaster at that point. It's a complete remake.
Yeah,
well,
I would.
even if
Yeah.
even if they did the old way and just like made it, because you can play God of War 1, but like it's PS3. It's kind of similar to like Spec Ops. I mean, it was a PS3 game. They just kind
Was
of
God of War 1 PS3 or was it PS2?
It was a PS2 game, but they have like
Oh yeah, the HD.
You have the HD remake, but that was PS3. So it's like,
or
give me that
PS
fancy
Vita,
new
which
stuff.
is how I've been playing it.
I'm gonna put my crazy conspiracy hat on, okay, and come up with a dumb idea. But
all right,
God of War, with the particular storyline that it has, they could do a remaster where Kratos goes down a different line in the very first game. Like, he has to find his way, and like as you play through the game, you realize like, wait, I am like you're questioning like whether or not this is Kratos who's supposed to like be, have the chains and the blades or whatnot, and you realize that the gods tried to like reset the timeline or something and like capture him, and he ends up going a different route to slay the gods, in the like a similar fashion, just kind of like a different timeline. So like new players get this cool story. Old players are just livid because they're playing through this story and they're making connections to the old game. But you get that remaster. You let the director of the remaster kind of have his way with the timeline or whatever. I think it'd be really cool. I think just a straight up rebuilding the game with better graphics might not sell the best, but I don't know. I mean, God of War is a massive game, so maybe the new God of War.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, I think it's very funny to me thinking back because like I can remember it like it was recent. Sitting down in my bedroom, I was in high school and seeing the commercials about God of War and how it's like this is the best looking game. It's got to be on 2 disc. And well, they put like extra stuff on, like they used the dual layer disc. That's what it was. It wasn't 2 disc. They used like some fancy new dual layer disc, and oh my gosh, and I remember God of War 2 being like, why didn't they just put this thing on PS3? Because PS3 was out when it came out. Like a weird, anyways. But yeah. So what else we got? Bravo.
I've got some community mentions.
I got
Here we
2
go.
more before we go.
All right,
Okay.
quick.
All right. 1, Wave Race.
Play the music, Bravo. Edit that bad boy in.
I actually think that game would be awesome with modern graphics. Like actually awesome. Modern graphics, modern physics. And the next one, I feel like it's going to be a group agreement. Far Cry 3.
Never played it.
I actually hate you.
I've never played a Far Cry game.
Wow. All right, so
I'll see
Far Cry 3.
I'll see myself out.
So Far Cry 3, it kind of has a similar thing where it was released in PS3. They did kind of a port on a PS4. Like,
But they didn't really upgrade anything.
yeah, I don't know. Like, because I have it on
Yeah, I
PS4.
mean, it's literally doesn't have anything really different.
Yeah,
I think it includes
so,
the DLC, Blood Dragon, which they kind of cheesily remastered.
yeah. But no, it actually Blood Dragon's not on that. You have to buy Blood Dragon digitally.
Okay, well then it literally is the same game. But the game deserves to be like remastered. And they better get all the damn music. Make it Fundum.
Yeah. No. Far Cry 3 is probably one of the best FPS games I've ever played.
That game's amazing.
Honestly, it might be the best FPS game I've ever played. Trying to think of FPS games that I'm like,
you don't play very many FPS games.
I don't, but I play single player stuff. So for me, I'm like, all right, what's a first person shooter game that has like a good story that's like fun to play, whatever. And like I can't think of anything that's past like Far Cry 3. I'm sure like people would say like the new Doom games are probably better.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Those are soundtracks with a game slapped on. But I have 2 community mentions. I'm the community, and that's Medal of Honor Frontlines and Medal of Honor Rising Sun as well.
All right. I know you're big fans of those.
Yeah, there's not many games in the Pacific Theater World War II, so I really like Rising Sun. But yeah, I could keep going, but I'm gonna stop.
All right.
Yeah.
So some community mentions. If you want your community mentions added to any of the lists of our stuff, you got to join the Discord. You got to do it. There's a link down below to all the socials. One of those being the Discord. The next one being Twitter. You can yell at us on Twitter at envision_org. But the community mentions are some pretty good ones, actually. Battlefront Modern Combat 2, Freedom Fighters, Republic Commando, and Golden Sun.
Golden what?
Golden
Sun.
It's a Game Boy Advance game.
Game Boy Advance RPG, yeah.
I want a
actually played
Golden
that.
Axe remastered.
Oh, the
Who-
golden axe.
Who the hell in our Discord actually knows what Freedom Fighters is? That's what I want to know.
That one would be
Or Freedom Force. Freedom Force?
I'm pretty
Free-
sure he said Freedom Fighters, but it was Jayhawk, so maybe he had a little dyslexia. I don't know.
I want to
Not to
Freedom
call him
Fighters
out.
is a video game.
It's it's like the counterterrorism one, right?
Oh,
yeah.
wait a minute. I
Yeah.
totally forgot that this Freedom Fighters
It's like
is a phenomenal game.
Freedom
I
Fighters is
forgot this existed.
it's technically like it paved the way for open world shoot 'em up games, if I recall.
All right, do yourself a favor and look up Freedom Force, and you'll see exactly
did.
why I was like, "Who the hell thought of Freedom Force?" Because I actually played this when I was a kid. And I remember
seen
being
this
You're
weird.
game
cut
and-
off. You're cut off. What is this?
It's on Steam.
What was that?
Yep.
Okay, we're ending it here. Okay, we're gonna get off topic.
No. All right, I'm gonna just start rattling. Other games I want remastered. Croc
More
2,
the chicken. More
More
the
the
chicken.
Chicken.
You just want all your
Uh,
games remastered.
I do. I want the original Legend of Zelda, Legend of Zelda 2, Legend of Zelda 3, 4, 7, 9, Breath
I
of
was
the Wild.
surprised that you didn't. I was actually surprised that you didn't bring up like the OG Legend of Zelda.
I don't
I
want it
mean,
remastered.
I
Straight
feel like
up.
that would be tough.
I mean, they could do it with like the Link's Awakening
Oh,
style,
Link's
but
Awakening, yeah.
is it really worth it? Like, do you really get a benefit? Not really. Like, the charm of the game
I-
is the clunky difficulty. I don't know. There's not a
Yeah.
Zelda game that I want remastered. Like,
You're just a hardcore like OG fan.
yeah, I hate the fact that I'm playing Wind Waker on Wii U instead
It's
of GameCube.
Pretty terrible. You're a Zelda snob.
I mean, I have nothing against people do. I mean, clearly I'm doing it, but
You're like my beer snob friends who are like, this one has to be, you have to
yeah.
drink it in this glass, and this is made in the wrong fields
I
of
like-
yore. And
I don't know.
Okay.
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I would tell anybody who wants to play them to play it on the 3DS, not on the N64, even though that's how I like to play it.
Mm.
And I don't know. Pretty cool.
I don't know. All right, you got a
Zelda's pretty cool.
little encore podcast, okay? We'll see you next
Real
time,
quick.
folks. No,
another-
you're cut off.
I got a trio that's like special ending content. I want Sneak King, Pocket Bike Racers, and what's the third one?
And his internet's dying as he's saying this.
Yeah, I'm actively
Comcast is shutting me off.
I'm actively texting Comcast like, yeah, him, do it.
Brad, what's the third one called?
Sneak King, Pocket Bike Racers, and what the hell is it called? I'm trying not to Google it.
I'm googling it. Big Bumpin'.
Big Bumpin'. Wow, how is that the one that I don't remember?
I know,
That's like the best one.
but yes, they all need remastered. 100%. I won't take no for an answer.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Foot.